What this video really is going to be about today is me explaining one idea that I really came to understand over like the last couple days. And actually I was on my way home from San Diego 2 or 3 days ago, and I was listening to an audiobook. It's an audiobook by Jeff Olson. It's called The Slight Edge. Highly recommend people read it. But what this book talked about was the idea that if we simply choose with awareness every day to do certain things that will benefit us over the long term, we're going to profoundly change our life experience. Now, this is the main idea. The idea is, let's give an example. Every day at lunch, you can either drink a soda or you can drink a water. Now, the thing with this is, will it change your life if you simply decide to drink the water instead of the soda? Not really. It won't make much of a difference at all. But the idea is that if you chose the water over the course of a year every day, will it make a difference at the end of the year? It would make a huge difference at the end of the year. That would be thousands of calories. That'd be pounds and pounds of corn syrup that you wouldn't be putting into your body. So of course it would, over the course of a year, have an exponential effect on the way that you feel, maybe your immune system, or a multitude of different other things. Now the idea is that because it's an easy decision to choose the water over the soda, the reason most people don't do it is because it's also very easy to choose the soda over the water. You kind of have to have an awareness, or you have to have a reason as to why you would choose the water over the awareness. Well, the idea behind this book is understanding that in every moment, if we simply decide that we're going to pick something and make a choice based upon what will leverage us more, the idea is that then what we do is we begin to pave a way for ourselves that it moves much quicker, that has much more momentum, and that even though we might not see the effects right away, over time, it'll be the one thing that makes a profound change in the way that we experience our life. Now, even, let me give you an example. As I was listening to this book, I was on my way home from San Diego, and I was planning on stopping at this vegan pizza place. And they got good Yelp reviews. I thought I was going to go there. Now, when I was listening to this book, I was becoming more aware of the fact that over the last 2 days, I've ate at a couple vegan restaurants that had very processed food. Even though some food is vegan, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's healthy, because you can eat processed vegan food just as much as you can eat regular processed food. But the idea is that because that was the options that I had when I was in San Diego, that's where I ate. Now, instead of me deciding that I was going to go to that pizza place when I was like 20-30 miles away, I decided that instead I was going to apply it right now. And I chose to go to Sprouts, and instead of getting pizza at that place with processed food on it, what I would do instead is I would go to Sprouts, I would eat fruit and have a much better lunch selection. And because of that, from now on, every day, I would simply choose, if I had some options, I would choose the healthier one out of the two. And that's what I've done over the last like 4 or 5 days now. And normally I eat healthy anyways, but the idea is that these little actions are what the book is really all about, is simply deciding, committing to making little changes in our everyday life experience, and knowing that as we begin to do that, we're literally going to begin to have a new life experience. We're going to begin to understand that we're going to begin to feel different. Imagine the effect of eating healthier food every day, even just a little bit more of it. That's going to begin to change our perspective. Then we're getting better nutrients through our body. We're thinking in a more clear way. The idea is that over the course of a year, that will make a big difference. Now, let's take this, and how can you apply this in your own life? Well, what are some little things that you do every day that wouldn't require much willpower to make a better choice, but that you could nonetheless choose? It could be the idea of you following your passion, for example. What is one thing that you can do every day that'll leverage you? Maybe some simple things such as reaching out to other people, having the intention to meet people that are in a similar field as you. Could be the idea of choosing a healthier option, cutting out soda. It could be a lot of different things, but the idea is that if you simply decide to bring that awareness into the decisions you're making, you're then going to begin to change the experience that you have. That's why awareness is such a powerful thing. And even if we look at this from like a neuroscience point of view, I've talked about this a little bit in a prior video, but the idea is that day in and day out, most of what we think and do is repetitive from the day before. So this means that a lot of our decisions and our choices are based on autopilot, meaning we don't have to think too hard about the decisions that we're going to make, because since we make them on autopilot, the idea is that we're continuing to perpetuate that over and over again. But this is the thing about changing it even just a little bit every day. The idea is that we then begin to develop a new level of momentum, where then the momentum goes from choosing soda every day to choosing water every day. So the idea is that then we bring that into our identity. It becomes a part of who we are, eating healthier, making choices that'll help propel us in the future. The idea is that if we do these little things every day, it gets easier as we go. So I encourage you to analyze and to bring awareness into the choices you're making and see if that ultimately will propel you down the road. Imagine what your life could be in 6 months, in a year, if you made just one little choice every day, a little bit different, you leverage yourself and where you could ultimately be. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, share it if you feel like doing that, and other than that, I'll see you guys on the next video. Much love.